Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hi, I'm Jackie Kashian, and you're listening to The Dork Forest. You've done it. You've chosen wisely. The website's JackieKashian.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com. JackieKashian.com has everything, right? This podcast, links to my other podcast, links to my calendar for when stand-up comedy happens again, links to the merch. If you want a Ranger of the Dork Forest t-shirt, if you want any of my stand-up merchandise, there's a bunch of new merch over there. There's the old pins. There's a new challenge coin. There's a bunch of t-shirts. There's CDs. There's my DVD, and there's some video, and there's more of the information that you could deal with. Also, so that's on JackieKashian.com. And there's a link on, of course, DorkForest.com to the merch page. The other thing you could do is you go to iTunes and review the show. That's always something that's supposed to help. Hi. You might be listening to the show on Pandora or Spotify or Amazon or Stitcher or some other place. Anyway, you might be just listening to it at dorkforest.com, which will also have the videos. As long as we're in COVID, as long as we're in quarantine, I am doing Zoom. I'm doing this show as also a video show. So you can go to the YouTube page and get a bunch of that. That also has a bunch of my stand-up clips on it as well. Let's do the credits. Hey, Mike Rickberg wrote and composed that song that you just heard, and he sang it with his wife, Sarah. He will sing at the end of the program his words to the Mexican hat dance. Very glamorous. Patrick Brady fixes the audio, the video. He does everything, and he really kind of keeps me sane. Loving Patrick Brady, especially in these days. And then Vilmos keeps JackieKashian.com rocking and rolling, as the kids say. There are several ways to support the show. I've already mentioned reviewing the show on iTunes. You could also just tell people that you love the show. That's always something. You could repost it if it's a particular episode you enjoy. You could join the Ranger page on Facebook if you like. That's just a bunch of people who love the show, and they can riff on each other and talk about the show and dorky things that they love themselves. My Twitter, Instagram, and all things, Snapchat at Jackie Kashian. If you ever want to get in touch with me, it's Jackie at JackieKashian.com. That's my email address. And if you want to donate, you can just give me money, quite honestly. You can PayPal me, Jackie at JackieKashian.com, or use the button on JackieKashian.com or DorkForest.com, and it comes directly to me. I will use it, in this case, enormously wisely on things like shelter and food until I'm on the road again. And then, and I appreciate whatever you could send. If you want to make it monthly, if you do monthly things, you can make the PayPal thing monthly. You can also, if you don't like PayPal, you can pay me by Venmo. My Venmo is just my name, Jackie-Kashian, and then a picture of me, windswept, I believe. Other than that, yeah. Bandcamp. If you've run out of episodes to watch and would like more, there are live episodes on dorkforest.bandcamp.com. And there's a bunch of episodes. There's 200 episodes before I started pre-recording. The best 17 of the horrible audio that they were are on Bandcamp. So you can listen to those for free. There's a bunch of live ones that are like $2 a piece because they cost me some money to produce. So I charge you a couple of bucks. There's also a storytelling album if you like that. So much info. Let's get into the show. Hi, I'm Jackie Kashian. We're doing the Dork Forest, and I've got another one of my brothers here, Russ Kashian, friend of the people. Welcome to the Dork Forest, Russ.
Howdy.
Howdy. So let's just point out that Russ Kashian, for years, has called me to tell me what he's watching on television. It's a way that we bond. And a couple of years ago, you started calling me with Hallmark Christmas movies and the marketing therein. The marketing thing, I think, was my most fascinating story. But I tried to. So there's Lifetime Christmas stories.
Yes.
And there's
yes,
Hallmark Christmas stories.
Yes.
What is the difference besides the channel?
At the end of the Lifetime one, the wife douses Santa with gasoline and burns him in his bed.
What? Oh, that's right. The burning bed. That's from
Yeah.
Lifetime. That was the Lifetime.
That's the Lifetime one involves some kind of like tragedy. You know.
Right. That is often true. But I will say this is that I've tried to watch both of them.
Yes.
And do they both use the same? I mean, there is an enormous number of actors out there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
could work. But do they use? Is there any crossover? Have you ever noticed that? Any sort of?
I think a little bit, but I don't. But I think that you have to understand these movies take about 15 days to make.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And one of the challenges is that they're all made. The Christmas ones are made in the summer.
Yes.
The Valentine's Day ones are made in the fall.
Okay.
And then the ones that are called, Love Springs Into My Life are made in the winter.
Okay. Oh, because they're spring ones. Oh,
Yes.
so they have them all year long, is what you're
Oh
saying.
my God, they never end.
The Hallmark Christmas shows are not just they have Easter ones, they have summer
my God.
ones.
They have a Hanukkah one.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, so is it
A
all
Hanukkah one. A Hanukkah.
just sadly just the one,
Yes,
just the one
yes.
Hanukkah one to say
Yes.
no, we know.
Yes.
Anyway, but what is who does Judith Light work with?
I don't think Judith Light. She might be with Lifetime actually.
Okay, I think she was with Lifetime, and
Yeah.
she did them, and this is 10, 15 years ago, because they've been going on for some time, right?
Well, the Lifetime's late into the game because they realized the depressing burning bed ones. It was
Right.
kind of hard to sell the ancillary product.
Yeah.
Where
it
you can
is.
sell boxes of matches. I mean,
Exactly.
with Hallmark, you can sell coffee mugs.
Right. I remember when you discovered that each one of these movies, that there would be some sort of ornament or
Oh yeah,
it's so
the snowflake mug.
the snowflake mug. What is
Yeah.
this? It's just a snowflake on a mug?
You'll see the red mug with the white snowflakes, and it'll appear in every show. And then you walk into Hallmark, and there'll be a display of snowflake mugs.
Right. So how about table settings? I mean, when did you first start noticing it?
Oh, right away.
Well, because
Right
what
away,
made
because-
you turn the damn things on is my real question. I mean,
Oh,
I
the
know
movies?
that. Yes.
Well, let me start from. I have two stories here, two
Okay.
embedded stories.
Okay.
And you wanted me. I can share a screen, right?
Sure, you can share a screen.
So hang on, let me show you. I'll pull this up, and
Because
hang on,
I
let me go
remember you
back
have
here.
said this out loud to me once, is you said, if there's one or two good scenes in a movie, that's a good movie.
Oh yeah. That we pray. Let's see if I can share.
Which
this
reminds me
screen.
of what Phil Cation says about me, is that I would watch a test pattern if the colors changed often enough.
Okay, let's see if this works. Do you
Oh,
see
it
this?
works. Oh, almost. I
Do you
could
see
see. I was seeing a
Do you see this
spreadsheet.
crazy spreadsheet I do here.
Yeah.
So this is my crazy spreadsheet of Hallmark movies going back only 5 years, by the way.
Okay. And when
And-
they were,
Yeah.
why are they numbered? What's A?
Well,
What is
the
column?
numbers are the embedded dates.
Okay, that you saw them, or that they were.
No. I haven't seen. Trust me. I'm more. I don't really watch these. They're just on.
Right. They're
And there's a
background.
difference between, if you're watching these things, you're a total nut.
It's
And so basically what's interesting about these things, this is where I think the story goes, but let's start from the beginning. So you have these ones, and I can show you this over here. This is where it gets really interesting.
yes. Show me
So,
where it gets really interesting.
These are the directors of the movies.
okay.
And one of the things that I find interesting is this word. You see this word here, this one, this one.
Canadian?
They're all made in Canada.
Or are they all made in Vancouver?
Yeah, they're all made. Well, some are made in Winnipeg.
Okay.
If they want to do a road trip, they go to Winnipeg. Yeah, because they're running out of sites in Vancouver.
Right. They've really been covered.
If you see that gazebo 100 times, I mean, my God, that's the gazebo.
So what is Good Morning Miami? What's that called?
Good Morning Miami was a TV show a few years back.
Okay, so these are other things that
And
they've
so
directed?
Ashley Williams, the
Okay.
star of Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater.
Yes.
Her claim to fame was Good Morning
Miami. Ashley Williams.
I have Holly Robinson Pete highlighted here because she sometimes stars and she sometimes co-stars.
Oh, interesting.
And what you see here is you have these like Army Wives. I've never seen this show. Who's ever seen Army Wives?
I remember that when it came out.
Yeah, this woman here was the star of Army Wives.
Okay.
And this
Erin
is the last
Krakow.
5 years. She's made 6 of these movies.
In 5 years. Did
Yeah.
she have? Well, her mortgage payment is covered.
You make as a star upwards to $250,000.
If you star in one of these films.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
budgets are about $2 million.
Okay.
And so the star gets, but we'll get to that, about Ellen Krakow.
Right.
Danica McKellar, we
Yeah.
all know Danica.
I'm unfamiliar. Wait, who did she play?
Winnie from the Wonder Years.
Okay, there we go.
And then you have Kelly Pickler.
Okay.
Lacey Chabot, of course, by the way, is the goddess of these shows.
Of these things from Party of Five?
Party of Five.
What?
No.
So what movie was she in? Wait. So she did 4 of them from the look
In
of
the last 5 years, but she also does the Valentine's Day and the spring into summer and the,
Right. And what is is there a pattern? Is it always the woman is trying to figure out that she's going to need a fella?
It tends to be that, but what's interesting with the guys,
Yeah.
they're replaceable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't see any. There's like
No
there's not like
repeats?
some guys who are like the star of these. These are all like movable pieces.
Okay,
There's
it's
some-
always the women who are the stars and the guys. Do they
Yeah.
all vaguely look the same?
the
Are
guys.
they all, yeah.
Oh, the guys are all 6'2",
With
a
the
really
same,
nice- with
like,
good,
guys teaching them how to do sit-ups and
with good hair.
nice hair.
They
Okay.
have nice hair.
Okay.
And and then our grandmother would watch these and go.
Okay.
And our grandmother liked the point.
Grandma would watch them?
Yeah, she'd like the point because we'd sit there and we'd watch Password,
Okay.
and she'd go, "He's from Land of the Giants,"
Oh, wow.
and she would say, "That's the one who's and so this
She
is what
recognized the actors?
oh yeah.
Wow.
And she would watch these things and go, Candace Cameron Bure, she was in Full House. And that's what you do with these things.
Right. Right.
Is you go,
Where do I
Alexa,
know that person? from?
Alexa Pena Vega
Okay.
is married to Carlos Pena Vega, by the way,
Oh,
the
catchy.
co-star.
Oh, they co-starred.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Grandma would get all excited because you would have, who was the host of Password?
That I.
Alan Ludden, who was
Okay,
married
that I
to
will
the
never
woman
know.
from the Golden Girls.
Okay.
What's her
Alan
name?
Ludden was on the Golden Girls. Was
No,
he
he
one
was
of
married to who's still
Rose?
with
Betty
still
White.
with us.
Betty
Betty
White.
White. That was his wife.
Oh, weird.
So when Betty White would come on, Grandma would go, "That's his wife." Yes, I know.
Yes.
I've watched Password with you before.
Right, because you would sit there and watch television with Grandma. I remember not watching I would come in and she would be watching Young and the Restless or Brave and the Bold or whatever the hell it was, General Hospital.
Well, back to our story. Back
to our story. Anyway,
So
but I couldn't
So you
watch
have
it.
all of these people. What
Yeah.
I mean, there are some really interesting things that happen here. One is you get tax credits for doing them in Canada. If you do them in Canada, you have to have Canadian talent.
Okay, that
And if
makes
you have
sense.
If you have 6 pieces of gold,
Yes.
there's possible 10 pieces of Canadian talent out there. One's a director, one's a lead actress, one's a cinematographer. And you have to
Okay.
get 6 of them.
Okay.
It's like a scavenger hunt for talent.
It's a board game with worker replacement parts.
It is.
It's
and so because I'm a crazy human being, and you
Right.
know that,
and I do.
I
know
sit
that.
here and go, okay, who's the talent,
Yeah.
right?
Where
So
are
they-
you?
So here, the director Gary Yates, he's Canadian,
Okay.
and
What's
this
is that why they're color coded?
yeah, they're color coded because of once again, I have psychological problem.
You have you have a love of data, is what you
A
have.
severe psychological problem here, and we go, and we're gonna basically go from A to Z. What the heck? This Alan Harmon guy has directed this many of them in 5
Okay.
years.
And why is
David
he in
Winning.
yellow?
Because I highlight him in yellow because there are lots of them.
Okay, so when they hit a certain number, like Bradley Walsh has finally made the cut of being highlighted because he got that third one,
And he's Canadian.
and he's Canadian. Okay.
Now this is the depressing thing for Jackie Kashian.
What is it?
I will show you. Let's go. Let's do this cell.
Is it that are you finding the
font-
column of supporting characters
The
who play
font
somebody's
color
aunt?
is red. on
Okay.
top. So this is a list of 139 movies.
Yes.
These are the women directors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
And what do we got
literally
there? We got 17
17.
of them. 17 of them. And by the way, Canadian. So if you're not Canadian and you're a woman, there is no way on
The
God's
odds are
green earth.
not good.
You're not
So
in your
what-
favor.
But who else? The ones that aren't Canadian, or what else have they done? How did they get this gig?
They were the second director on Police Academy.
Okay, so they came up through some other
ranks.
boys' club.
Yeah,
And-
they were like the assistant director for American Pie.
Right. So, but like, I wonder who like what did Marta Grabiak?
Well, this is the problem. Marta Grabiak probably won the award at Sundance for the
Right.
best movie
And then she got sucked into doing this.
because that was it.
That was
mean-
that was her. You get to direct, but you have
Yeah.
to direct. Because I did meet a woman who directed these.
Well, I
And-
can tell you who they were.
Right, it would have been. Her name might have been Catherine, and it was at some party, and I said, because it was before I had ever seen even one of them, and I asked her if they had a B plot, like if there was ever like a message in it. This is when you told me that the mugs were the message.
Well, the B plot. We get to the B plot. I have notes, by the way.
You have notes about the B plot.
Yeah,
So,
about the
but
B-
she had the most like deadpan voice about. She was like, "There's nothing in these movies. There's
No.
there's just,
No.
you just churn them out."
I'll tell you. You asked me what's my favorite one,
Yeah, I did.
and what's my joke.
Which is that they're all the same.
Well, it's like saying which one of the Pringles in a can is
Oh,
my
right.
favorite.
That's right, right, because
the
it's a
fourth
stack of
one.
Pringles, right?
They're all the same.
They're
How can
all
I
the.
have a favorite Pringle.
But here's the thing. So like you have names on column A, but then column AL is that the name of the movie again?
No, that was just kind of like I was trying to figure out who these people were.
Okay,
who
so
the-
a cheerful
who these women were.
Christmas.
Who these
Countdown
women
to
were.
Christmas.
To see if they're like, I got over here. And then I have, by the way, now this is where I get weird, is the ratings. This is the column AI is what their ratings were.
The ratings on like Rotten Tomatoes or something.
No,
IMDb.
know what they got their Nielsen ratings.
Oh my God. Okay,
And so-
sort that one because I
Yeah.
want to see who got the best.
Okay, so we'll do the ratings are AI,
Yeah.
and we'll go from highest to largest to smallest. And Candace Cameron Bure,
From Full House.
5.17. Kelly Pickler, country western star.
Got a
Okay.
4.66.
Candace Cameron Bure, Leanne Rimes, Danica McKellar, Jodie Sweetin.
Oh wow. These
Yeah.
are actually names I know. I've heard
Yeah.
of some of these women. So
Lacey Chabert, like, and This Ashley.
But these percentages are so low. Like what's a regular show get?
Television. That's pretty good for cable.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, but a 5.17 out of what?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's better than this.
It's better than the 0.09.
It's better than poor Marguerite Moreau.
Right, who
got
was
a
in
0.96 and disappeared.
And then never worked again.
But it's interesting because like this is a woman, Lee Freelander.
Lee Freelander.
Yeah, she got she got the big one.
Right, she's making the good money. Do you think she gets a raise with those ratings? Has she done any other ones?
No, she hasn't. That's the problem.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Because I don't think quality matters.
Leah Freelander. First of all, I believe. Wait a minute. Is she dead?
No, she can't.
Are they all in their 30s? How old are these people?
The directors?
Oh, that's the director.
Yeah, that was the director.
Hey, head over to who was in this movie? The 5.17.
Cameron Burr, Ian Bailey. I have no idea who Ian
Bailey. Candace Cameron.
I can tell you who Ian Bailey is if I go over here.
Okay.
I have no idea because there was nothing interesting about this person that I could make notes
that you could find about this person. But Candace Cameron Burr.
Oh, of course.
Is
the queen of Hallmark.
Is she the queen? How many has she been in? But because she's not highlighted.
No, but she does all of she has her own. She's basically Jessica. What was the Murder, She Wrote?
Oh, okay.
She has her own TV
Empire
show on Hallmark where she plays a detective. She makes cookies and solves murders.
Oh my God!
I'm just making fun.
Okay, but I will tell you this is that there's a terrible murder mystery, and there's lots of them. But the one that's written by some woman named, what the hell is? Oh, Fluke. Her last name is literally Fluke.
Oh,
and she's written a series of the Mini Muffin Monday Murders.
Oh yeah.
And it's the Blueberry Muffin Murder Mystery, the Apple Pie Murder Mystery. So Candace Cameron Burr is a Christmas Town,
a juggernaut of Hallmark movies.
And she was in a movie called Switched for Christmas.
Of course.
And is it like a Freaky Friday kind of situation?
I'm sure with her sister, who was the, let's have some fun here. I was actually having fun over here. Because God knows. It's Paste, Switch for Christmas.
Wait, is she in the Aurora Tea Garden Mysteries?
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's her. Yes.
That's the, holy hell, the Aurora Tea Garden Mysteries.
Switch for Christmas.
Yeah, what's that one about?
Just because they're identical doesn't mean these twins even like each other. Estranged sisters get together for an obligatory pre-Christmas lunch a year after their mother's death. Both women are unhappy and frustrated.
Aw. Do they both fall in love with the same guy?
No. See, the point of the whole show, the point of all of these movies, is that they fall in love with their high school boyfriends.
Oh, shit.
Who is played then by Dermot McRoney.
Oh, Dermot McRolany or
whatever his name is.
Yeah.
The interchangeable guy.
I had one date in high school, Kurt Arndt. If I went back to South Milwaukee and fell in love with Kurt Arndt, there would be trouble.
I think his brother repairs my refrigerator.
He might.
He might.
The Arndts.
No, they're interesting movies. I'm gonna get rid of this because it's just too scary.
Yet it is fascinating. Stop sharing on the upper. It should be at the top of the screen. Stop sharing.
Stop sharing.
In red.
Stop sharing.
There we go.
But they're interesting because they're filmed in Canada.
Right.
They won't even, if you watch them, it never snows because it costs like $50,000 to buy snow.
Okay.
Remember, these things are made in July.
Oh, that's right. They're made in July and they cost $2 million.
So they have to buy all the soap flakes.
And an eighth of the budget is the star.
And an eighth of the budget. Yeah, because it's all brand name.
Right.
And then, and then I would imagine, and then there's three things that happen. And one of them is two of them are my jokes, by the way.
Okay.
There's usually some woman who starred in Party of Five or Desperate Housewives.
Right.
Or Sister.
Or Army Wives or anything.
Yeah. And then there's a guy, and the guy quite often is on General Hospital.
Oh.
And this is his side money.
Okay.
And, he's playing Rolf in General Hospital.
Right. Do these guys get, because, General Hospital, they don't get residuals.
Why don't they get residuals for these? I mean, who would replay it? It's like,
but don't they replay them all?
Yeah, but, who watches them the second? I'm sure they get whatever residuals you get.
Well,
are you still getting residuals from that show
of...
you made with what's her name in 1992?
I am. I received, I believe it was $1.37 about 6 months ago.
Was it in American currency?
It was because they showed it in Germany. Thanks for playing. Yes, and so Murphy Brown.
Murphy Brown. I mean, but when it plays in Singapore, do you get actual hard currency?
Yes, they're paying me in Bitcoin. Anyway.
Okay. So then there's usually a third character, and that's played by Jean Smart.
Who's Jean Smart?
From what was the one with the four where they lived? They were designers, designing women.
Oh, designing women?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or who played Newhart's
wife?
No, the daughter.
The daughter, the blonde. Yeah. Okay.
Or she'll be in it.
Okay, so like career actresses, but who are in their
they're in their 60s,
50s or 60s. Okay,
because and it was important economically because they always goes back to Joan Crawford and all them.
Okay,
who would say, when they were 40, the 50-year-old actor was dating Audrey Hepburn in the movie.
Right.
You basically had Fred Astaire with Audrey Hepburn or Gary
Right.
Cooper.
You had Humphrey Bogart with Audrey Hepburn. Yeah.
And the 40-year-old woman, their career was over.
Right.
And
she's playing her mom if she's allowed. Yeah.
Exactly. And even today that happens.
Yeah.
And so for Jean Smart and these women who are in Desperate Housewives, these are important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because what do you have? You have 35-year-old unhappy women from New York whose uncle Otto died, and the creche factory is going to go under if they don't come back. So they're going to come back to Keokuk, Iowa, and then they're going to run into their high school prom date.
Right.
And find that true happiness is in rural America.
Right.
It's not being an ad executive in Boston.
Right. You don't need a career, lady. Yeah. What you need is you need this guy who never left town.
Yeah.
Ever.
and then there's usually today they've evolved.
Right.
There's usually a minority.
Oh, there's one person, non-white person?
But what's interesting if you actually watch these.
Yeah.
At the party they have a date.
Mm-hmm.
So the black actor has a black date.
Okay.
But she doesn't talk because they have to pay her extra.
So she gets no lines.
She gets no lines and doesn't have a name.
Right. So
you see them standing in the corner.
Right. So there's one black couple at this party.
Yeah.
The guy will get maybe 10 lines.
Yeah,
the woman gets none.
Because, and you know the business. If you have a speaking part.
I want to be your under 5. That's what I want to be. I want to be your 3 lines in a movie. That's steady work for me. I could probably act my way through 3 lines.
And then what I've begun to observe, and this comes out of the movie Sweet Home Alabama.
Okay.
I was watching Sweet Home Alabama the other day.
Which is Reese Witherspoon?
Reese Witherspoon.
You have a baby in a bar, if I remember correctly.
Yes, baby in a bar.
Okay.
And what they're going to evolve to is they're going to have a gay guy.
Oh, right.
But you won't have 2.
Right. You have the one gay guy, or you have one person. You have your one Asian friend, your one black friend, or whatever.
But, if you have two gay guys, that means you have a couple.
Right, they better be dating.
We can't admit that. And so,
it's who's writing these? Is it the same people
the NRA,
writing them?
I think. I'm not sure.
But you need a column for who's writing them, because is it the same person just churning them out? That's
Well,
the
I'm
interesting
sure.
thing.
Well, I can only do so much.
Right.
You know,
There's always an AZ. Come on. There's another. So I do want to know. I'm going to have to look it up.
They are interesting because they're incredibly anti-feminist.
Yeah.
They're basically anti-urban.
Yeah.
And there's all, and your happiness is finding Arndt's brother.
Right.
At the class reunion.
Right.
And they're just and then they're full of Canadians.
And they're full of Canadians. That's it. They're not even Americans.
And I used to think, and I thought when it began, I have this theory called selectivity bias.
Selectivity?
Selectivity bias.
How do you spell that?
Selectivity.
Okay, selectivity. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And because you have to ask yourself, why is Hollywood dominated? And there's a lot of Canadian actors and actresses,
right,
in Hollywood. That Michael J. Fox guy.
There's even good Canadian TV that they make themselves for themselves.
I don't know about that. But there's this. I had this theory going into this that, well, the reason they're dominated by Canadian actors and actresses, especially, is because the beautiful people in Canada moved to Hollywood.
Everyone moves to Hollywood. The
good-looking people do.
Right. Karen Kilgariff had a joke about how the best-looking people in every town in the world move to Los Angeles to find out that they're not the best-looking person in the world.
And then they intermarry and have great-looking kids.
They have great kids. There's a lot of dental going on.
Yeah.
And then it's cronyism and nepotism for 1,000 years. But
they're good-looking.
But isn't there a law in Canada that they have to do like 40% Canadian or something?
Well, that's what I was talking about. That is the 6 points out of 10.
Yeah, so it's 60%.
Get tax credits.
Okay, so they get the tax. But there is, I know in Australia, there's a certain amount of like on-air content that has to be Australian.
Oh yeah, that's Canadian. That's
and Canada does that as well.
All over the world.
Yeah, but selectivity bias. You're talking about it's hard to get locals because all the good-looking people are in Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, I mean because you get these amazing people from Canada. I mean they're talented.
Oh my gosh, it's the first Canadian comic I met that wasn't funny. Shocked. I was shocked. It was like when I met the first comic from Florida that was funny. Shocked, I tell you, because I don't know if you've. There's a lot.
So
of
we've managed
comedy.
to criticize, make fun of Canada and Florida,
all in one sentence.
Can you work your way south more? I mean, we can hit like Cuba and like Barbados, maybe. We can.
The Incans used to put rocks together and make roads without any mortar. But what makes you watch them?
Because, well, this is the point. It's like eating Pringles. You can leave and come back and not have missed anything.
Okay.
I mean, if I decided to go get a soda and come back, I don't have to rewind.
Right. You can just keep going.
The stories are linear. There's no arc.
There's no arc.
And I was thinking about this I was thinking about, the best romantic comedy of all time.
Okay.
What would you say is the best romantic comedy of all time?
Well, do you want classics? Do you want current?
Oh, classics.
Would be there's the ones that are It Happened One Night. But that's not my favorite romantic comedy. My favorite romantic comedy of all time is Holiday. Cary Grant,
I would say
Katharine
the
Hepburn.
Philadelphia Story.
Oh, the Philadelphia Story. Also Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah. And in that you have basically, Katharine Hepburn.
Yes.
But you have in addition, you have 3 potential suitors who are all plausible.
Oh, right. Her fiance. I always forget about
Howard,
Kittredge.
what's his name?
Kittredge.
George Kittredge.
George
Yeah.
Kittredge.
You have Jimmy Stewart,
Yep.
and you have Cary Grant,
Yeah.
and they're all plausible.
They're viable. Those are all viable
Yeah.
love interests. Yes.
I mean, and then you have a backstory of the uncle and the father,
right.
and then you have the crazy sister who keeps walking in with cheese, saying who's
The little sister who sings Lydia, oh Lydia.
Yes.
You got her, but you had the real backstory on that is the tabloids, right?
Yeah, and then you have the tab, but you have a bunch of moving parts,
Yeah.
and you have you have the wedding going on, right, and you have the pool, and you have all of this stuff.
Right, you got the mom and the dad.
Yeah,
who
the
are
uncle
estranged.
and the uncle who's always drinking.
Right, the uncle and the who's the sort of the grab ass guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and none of this. There is no backstory. There's no plausible second suitor.
Oh, in
in
these Hallmark.
a Hallmark movie. There's not. I mean, she's gonna come back to town. This guy has been there for 20 years. You don't think he has a girlfriend? He's just been waiting for Uncle Otto to die so she could take over the Crush factory.
Yeah, he's been in stasis.
Yes.
The one that I watched was it was very 2-dimensional.
Yeah.
It was like playing a side scroller video game where you're just like it's the same thing over and over again. Just jump, fire, jump, fire.
Yeah.
So there's never any B plot. So
there can't be. The B plot would require spending money on 2 more actors.
Right.
I mean, you need Jimmy Stewart and Rosalind Russell.
Right. Right.
You can't have them. They're going to cost you another $125,000.
Wait, that wasn't Rosalind Russell who played the photographer, was it?
Yeah, it was. Look it up.
I'm gonna look it up, but
this is the problem.
Yeah.
And so you watch these things, and they're just so you leave the room, you come back, and you know exactly what happened.
Right. Right.
I could go be back and forth from a football game.
Ruth Hussey. Ruth Hussey played Elizabeth Embry.
Oh, was that Ruth Hussey? Who played it in? Oh, you know.
Are you? Oh, you know what you're thinking of? You're thinking of High Society with Bing Crosby and Carrie.
No, but in High Society, it was what's her?
It was Grace Kelly.
No, but the best friend.
It was Sinatra and Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly.
But Grace Kelly was
the Katharine Hepburn.
But
role.
I forget the woman. The woman
who played the
Ruth Hussey.
Yeah, the Ruth Hussey part in that. Okay. So yeah, but
she was in Young at Heart, by the way.
Was she? So,
but no, I mean, but that's why I watch them. I mean, I also find them financially fascinating.
Right.
Because you figure $2 million, what's an episode if they were actually making TV shows today? What would be an episode of Lost? What would that cost you?
Right. I mean, The Mandalorian, I think each episode cost $1 million.
Oh,
so
that's a cheap one.
But then,
I mean, if you're
Celeste Holm?
Yeah, Celeste Holm. I love Celeste Holm. She's one of my favorite actresses.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love.
What has Celeste Holm been in?
Everything.
All right. She's no Thelma Ritter, right?
Eve Arden. I would compare her more to Eve Arden.
Would you compare her to Eve Arden?
Yes. I might as well compare her to like Queen Elizabeth I.
You have a better chance with me knowing.
Yes.
She was in Gentleman's Agreement in 1947.
Love that movie.
1947. All About Eve, which we own.
Yeah.
Interesting. And she originated the role of somebody in the Hammers in Oklahoma. She was in Oklahoma.
Anytime Annie?
Yep. Anytime Annie.
Anytime Annie.
Yep.
You're not going to get me to sing yet, so.
Everyone should be psyched. I'm talking to my brother Russ, by the way, Rangers of the Dork Forest, and you should know some of us can sing and some of us can't, and you got that right from Dad.
Yeah. But I was thinking, I will tell you where this whole thing evolves from, in my opinion. This Hallmark. Well, it comes from two ends. It comes from The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet.
The TV show?
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. The Adventures of Ozzie. Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and it comes from Sleepless in Seattle.
Okay.
And because Sleepless in Seattle, well, I'll start with Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. Ozzie Nelson was a marketing genius.
Okay.
And if you watch the old episodes, at the end of every episode,
Yeah.
but actually, I'll take that back. About 40% into the episodes, like every 3 times, Ricky would sing a song.
Okay.
And by the two big sponsors were Coca-Cola and Kodak. And they would be taking pictures, and the boys would come in and say, "Boys, would you like a soda?"
Oh, so there was product placement in Ozzie and Harriet?
Oh yeah, in Ozzie and Harriet, inside the shows.
The only one I even remember is the Lifesaver thing in Happy Days.
No. In the Beverly Hillbillies, they'd always be eating cornflakes.
Would they?
Jethro
Okay.
would eat cornflakes. But so in Ozzie and Harriet, they would sing, "Hello, Peggy Sue. Goodbye, heart. Oh, Peggy Sue, I'm so in love with you." And the next morning in the record stores, that 45 would be.
Oh, wow.
But it wouldn't be there the day before. So at 7:52, he would sing the song.
Yeah.
Ricky would sing it.
Yeah.
And they would that was the music video for the show.
Right.
And the next morning you go to the record store and you buy Ricky Nelson's new song.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where this product placement we talked about.
Oh, in these Hallmark things came from.
In fact, I'll come back to the share thing for you in a second.
Okay.
But the other one was Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
In which you've seen Sleepless in Seattle?
Oh my God, I've seen Sleepless. Not as much as you. Not as much as you've got. You've seen Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail more than anyone.
So Rosie O'Donnell's in it.
Right. She plays the friend.
Is she a character, or is she just a brick in the corner?
She is a talking brick in the corner who quips. There's quippiness. Isn't Joan Cusack also in it, or is she?
No, that's Working Girl. That's Working Girl.
Okay.
I mean, does she have a personal life? Do you know if Joan Cusack? I mean,
yeah, neither one of them have another role. You're right.
This isn't like Ruth Hussey.
Right.
In the Philadelphia Story.
Right. She's an artist.
She has a character. Yes.
Yeah. There's an arc. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Everyone else in that movie, he dates the woman who's giggling, giggle, 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 giggle.
Nobody else has any. Right. Your Working Girl and Sleepless in Seattle both have that problem where it's super one-dimensional.
It's one-dimensional.
I will say this. You've Got Mail actually has more depth. Though I will say that the Chappelle character doesn't have a lot going on.
No, Chappelle would be the guy that doesn't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
In fact, he might even have a girlfriend at the party in Sleepless in Seattle. She didn't have a speaking role.
Right. That would have been You've Got Mail, though.
Yeah, that would have been You Got Mail. So, yeah, actually, you're right. Because my biggest complaint about Sleepless in Seattle, and actually you go back to Working Girl, is Bill Pullman.
Right.
Oh, what a schmuck.
Right. That he is not a viable.
I mean, she dumps him at dinner.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, go to him." You think I would do that?
No.
I feel like you owe me for dinner,
Right, you would walk out on the check.
You're picking up the tab here, lady.
You got the tab, lady. Right.
I mean, and so there is no viable second,
Same with Craig Kinnear and You've Got Mail.
Yeah, but actually I like Craig Kinnear. He takes his typewriter with him.
He does at that.
And he ends up with I think he ends up with Tom Hanks' girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah. So again, you've got male has. There's just I mean, you hit bottom real quick, but there is some depth, right? They're pretty shallow.
And Alec Baldwin in Working Girl.
Alec Baldwin. I thought it was Harrison Ford.
No, the boyfriend she leaves him for.
Oh my God.
That's Alec Baldwin.
I didn't remember that.
Well,
What
who
about
would?
those-
She left him.
What about those? What about those Nancy? Those Mingling Wrinkles one with Meryl Streep and Alec Baldwin. Like it's complicated.
I don't watch those. It's too depressing.
Right, because it's not
That's,
complicated.
I mean, if I'm going to watch people date, I want to watch beautiful people date.
It is, Mingling Wrinkles. But I will say this is that she literally these. I own a lot of romantic comedy DVDs. Nancy, I forget her last name, but I never bought any of them, though I saw them. I've seen them and I've seen them on cable and stuff. But they're the Schindler's List of romantic comedies. You watch them one time. It's not like 2 weeks notice and music and lyrics.
I love music and lyrics.
I'll watch either of those over and over and over again.
Actually, I like music and lyrics for one reason.
What's that?
I like the music.
Oh, that's Fountains of Wayne guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the movie. I just the music.
It's got that 80s pop
peppy.
thing.
It's peppy.
It's peppy. It is.
And the movie once again makes no sense.
No, but the woman who played the Shakira person, the pop star,
Yeah.
who comes out of that giant Buddha.
Yeah.
That's an amazing scene. I mean, that scene itself had to cost $2 million.
Oh yeah. I mean, and this is the thing is they basically have taken. This has been a race to the bottom in terms of script writing, and then
Because they do new ones every year, right?
They take 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
They take 2 weeks.
I forgot you said that.
It's 15 days, and
They could do. They could do 25 a year.
And then I'm watching. What was the Tarantino movie? Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in
Hollywood. In the beginning of it with Al Pacino.
Okay.
Where he's lecturing Leonardo DiCaprio about how he's destroying his career.
Okay.
Have you seen the movie?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you because it's not.
Please, it's
like in the first 2 minutes
alert.
of the movie.
Yeah, right.
It's not giving a plot away. It's I'm giving away the first 2 minutes.
Right.
It's about how these actors from the 1960s, people like Richard Boone, who you never heard of.
Right.
Would be a hero in like The Rifleman.
Okay.
And now The Rifleman's over. It's been on for 6 years. Now what are they going to do? They're The Riflemen.
Right.
Until they start making airplane movies with the Zucker brothers.
Right.
They have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they play the heavy. Because they would do guest shots on the FBI or Mannix.
Oh, right.
It'd be Mannix with Mike Connors tonight, starring,
right.
Richard Boone.
Richard Boone would get an extra bump of money because people knew him from The Rifleman. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he wasn't in the right. I think he was in whatever.
Whatever. He was in some other series. Yeah.
Some other series, and that's kind of what's happening with these.
Right.
Is they're leveraging their reputation from Desperate Housewives, and Married with Children or whatever.
Right. Whatever they've been in.
And getting the part, but the problem is they're just kind of cannibalizing their career until there's nothing left of it.
Okay.
Because after they're on 5 or 6 of these, it's kind of like, you can't really bring them back to be the second or third actor in the background.
Right.
And that's that. And then the lead ones, if they take off like Lacey and I Chabert or Brooke D'Orsi or whoever these women are, I have no idea who they are.
Right.
trust me, I don't watch Party of Five and the Gilmore Girls and Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, Scott Kashian owns all 5 seasons on DVD of the Gilmore Girls.
You know,
as a man who likes you've got mail. You don't have a leg to stand on. Keep going.
yeah, well,
Okay.
but I don't go out and buy. I don't own a copy of You Got Mail.
Right. I think your cable package is amazing. Anyway,
Yeah, but
You
no, I
have all
mean,
of it.
but this is the challenge that it's giving jobs. Is very valuable because
Yep.
you make a living.
everyone so much work. So many people work.
Yeah,
But it isn't quality work, is what you're kind of saying, right?
it's not building to your next job.
Okay. It's just
It's
it's
just a
a
job.
job.
Yeah, I mean, think about your career. What are you building towards?
Oh, nothing.
Oh,
I mean, the thing about stand-up comedy is that it's the next album. That's all you're working on. But I have had a couple of voiceover things recently because I've decided that if we're gonna be living like this, I would like some in-town work. You know what I did for a job the other day? There's for these shows they have someone if there's an in-studio audience. Wait, do they shoot these things in front of a live audience?
no.
Okay. They're actually shot as film. Okay. So, but what they do for live shows is they have a warm-up stand-up comedian who'll do banter. I did it one time for who was in Hairspray, lost a bunch of weight and got a talk show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her.
So, whatever. But I did it and it was exhausting and I didn't like it. But this thing, I got a call from a friend of mine. He said, "We're doing it's
Ricky
a cartoon. Ricky Lake, that's it. And we're doing a cartoon, and the cartoon is they all are going to record their parts at their own homes in their home studios, but we're going to do a table read over Zoom so that we can sort of get sort of some acting and sort of get sort of the vibe of the energy. And I need someone," and he's like, "It's not really warm up, but it's kind of warm up." And I was like, "You want me to do Zoom banter between the staff, between like the
Oh, is that
cast?"
right? Wow.
Yeah. So I did it for 2 episodes. It paid real money. I was like, Zoom banter I can do because essentially I'm just asking to see your dog. It's fine. So, are you in your office? Where are you?
I'm in my office.
Oh, that's weird because I was like, that doesn't look like your living room, and it doesn't look like
That's my office.
your office in the house. Anyway,
No. I could put a background up there, but
right. It's
But no, that I mean that to me the higher level is to get voice work on Cartoon Network.
right. Well, this
You can do
this
that
show,
you can do that in a sweatsuit.
Well, there's a show on the Warner Brothers. The animated Warner Brothers TV shows are union, so they pay union actor scale.
Oh,
As opposed to like some of this stuff on Cartoon Network is repurposed Japanese anime, and that's more like you get paid one-off, like $300 an episode.
no way.
Yeah. I know the woman who is Naruto, and I think she gets maybe double that or something like that. But there's no residuals and there's no I mean, it's not a great deal, but there's like 600 episodes.
Wow. Yeah, but still,
Steady work.
The next one you have to do is what was the name of that website we went to last month? The one where
Cameo. Oh,
Yeah.
I meant to tell you, one of my fans of this show, Rangers, it was Brian. Brian emailed me and said that his fiance had just had a medical issue, and if I would do a little pep talk for her on video and send it to her, he would give me $100. And I said, okay, so he just did an end around because I'm not on Cameo.
Right.
But I've had people say, hey, could I just get, could you just send my husband a birthday card? And I was like, yeah, I could do that.
I mean, Cameo is like the level below the Hallmark movie.
Right. Well, Cameo
you
is
can't get a Hallmark movie. You're doing Cameo.
right. Well, it's true because it's someone. What did Lori Kilmartin told me that she bought Cameo for somebody, and whoever the actress was, went above and beyond. Like, did an amazing...
Yeah. I mean, and
stage time is stage time, man.
And going back to Hallmark, I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, the reality is that, actors need to act.
Yes.
Actors need to write.
Damn right.
In the 1930s, we had Our Gang, and we had shorts before movies. You had Flash Gordon.
I love that you said we had. You were born in 1960.
Yes, back when I was a kid.
Back when you were a kid in the Appalachians,
yes.
when you had to walk uphill both ways.
And we go to the movies, and and we and then Talkies
Why We
came, when
Fight
Talkies
series?
came. That was
Right. It's so when you go to the mall and you happen to if you ever do, and you happen to pass a Hallmark store, do you ever go in and look to see if they have the nonsense?
Actually, let me hang on a second. Let me go to the
Oh, he's sharing. You're sharing a screen.
I'm sharing.
YouTube watchers.
Hallmark Christmas. Look at this one.
The Monopoly Hallmark Channel board game.
Where you visit the sites of a Hallmark movie.
Holy, that is everything I don't want. I hate the game Monopoly because it's how to break the economy, and I don't.
And you get to visit the gazebo.
You get to visit, and what are the pieces? Zoom in on what those damn pieces are. Christmas tree.
You have the watering can.
The what? Oh,
the ice skates. The Christmas tree. The wedding ring.
Oh my God! Is that a dog?
Of course, it's a dog. You have to have a dog.
These are the 6 plots of the Hallmark wedding Christmas shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Oh my God, that's amazing. That is brazen, is what that is. That is gutsy stuff.
You have, of course, the personalized popcorn tub.
Sure.
You have the magazine.
Oh no! The countdown.
Month.
Every month, countdown to Christmas magazine.
By the way, Lacey Chabert, right there.
Right there.
Candace Cameron Burr, and the guy.
The one guy.
Who he is. Some guy.
What's his name?
He has good hair.
He really does, and perfect teeth.
Yes. And of course, you have your wine glasses.
The wine glass, because they encourage this weird mommy wine thing.
You can get a personalized mug.
Oh my God.
Because socks.
Wait a minute. Back up to the socks. I would like to see the socks, please. If you
can read this, I'm
watching Hallmark Christmas movies. Oh my God. Oh, and then there's the ugly Christmas sweater business. There it is.
Yep. There it is.
Oh.
Now, of course, the bingo cards, Nancy would have not let us use them. We were saving them for the visit from the Queen.
What is that Christmas movie bingo?
Yeah, it's Christmas movie bingo.
That's another.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I'm doing another episode, at least one, about these movies. You're the only one who had a spreadsheet. You'll be happy to know.
Well, of course.
Well, actually, I say that. I don't actually know that.
Because I have to prove my suspicions.
Okay, yeah.
You've seen the movie, what's the one with Tom Hanks where he's stuck on the island?
Castaway.
You've seen Castaway?
Yes.
At the end of Castaway, he's explaining to his friend, he said, he said, well, I was so depressed I tried to kill myself, but I had to test it first, and the rope broke.
Every time?
No, he did. And he said I couldn't even kill myself. He said I had to test it.
Right.
You had to prototype the thing. And that's kind of me with my with my goofy spreadsheet.
I think you have now. Do you have other spreadsheets? What else are you keeping track of, entertainment-wise? I know that as an economist, you're keeping track of a lot of things.
What's it? God, I can remember what it is. It's
canned corn sales.
No. It's what's the show where you go on and you with Mark Cuban and you try and sell your product? Oh,
Pawn Shop or
Shark Tank.
Okay, Shark Tank.
Yeah. what we're trying to look at is basically discrimination on Shark Tank.
Oh, okay.
Do they underbid the women?
Ah.
Are women who are chosen for it pigeonholed into basically, the guys would come on and sell computer technology, and the women would come on and sell cupcakeries.
Oh,
I have
Jesus.
an
So
idea
they're
for a
booking
great.
that.
Because you have to remember, these are, I hate to reveal this to your audience, but these are not reality TV.
No, they are cast.
They
These
are
people are
cast
cast.
and
Yes.
staged.
Yes, that's why I never made it to the house on Last Comic Standing. I wasn't crazy enough.
Yeah.
And they actually told me that the last time. They said, you're just a little too sane.
And they bring on people who will make good television as well as good products.
Right.
And so if they bring on, the woman who's developed a new computer app,
Yep.
well, I mean, is the cupcakery more?
Is that more compelling to the ladies?
Yeah.
It's certainly more compelling to the guys who want it to be compelling to the ladies.
So we've watched a dozen years or so of these shows and gridded them out
To find out where those people went and what happened to them?
to find out what which one of the judges made the bid on what product at what point, and
Okay.
who capitulated.
Right.
Yeah, because I create a spreadsheet.
Right, because you're a spreadsheet guy.
I'm a spreadsheet guy. I
So-
can't just enjoy a TV show. I have to create a spreadsheet.
Right. Is that what you do when because you're sitting there and you're showing me clips of these different movies when we're hanging out. And then do you go over to your laptop, which is over in that corner, and enter in the information?
Possibly.
Possibly, sure. There's no judgment here. I'm in
Possibility.
favor. Because the thing is, it's fascinating. So, like, all of those columns, the information on them is pretty. The Nielsen thing is the weirdest thing for me, is that you've got these ratings.
Oh yeah.
Is there another? Because the column of where they're from and who's doing it and the names of them,
I have to go to their
what-
Wikipedia pages and look them up.
and see what else they've been on.
Mm-hmm.
But what other information is on? Is there any other information besides that information?
Yeah, I mean, what shows they are on, who their co-stars were.
The co-stars. That's right. Yeah. It's the co-stars and the. It's interesting that. Could this be? But I think in some ways is it a first job for somebody, right? Like I saw one, and it was about a nutcracker who had come to life, and it was an ornament, and she couldn't fall in love because he had to go back to being a nutcracker. Mm-hmm. But it did teach her about the value of Christmas, and I think that was a Lifetime one. Because the Lifetime ones want to teach you about the value of Christmas. I don't think the Hallmark ones do so much, do they?
Value of family.
The value of family and
it's all
rural...
about family.
Yeah.
It's about forgiveness.
Yeah, because he blew you off in high school and now you're trapped.
And or your twin sister and you have to get along.
I can't believe that's that was the biggest Nielsen rating one.
Well, also let's be honest. It also depends on when they put them on. If they put it on December 22nd, it's probably going to get higher ratings than if they put it on November 4th.
Oh, okay. That's an excellent point.
I mean, they're going to, they're going to save the great ones for when the whole family's together and say, let's all watch the Hallmark movie together.
Oh my God. Is there any making out at all? Is there any sex?
Oh, no. No, in fact, I would predict that probably the person who could direct these movies the best is Jerry Paris.
Who's Jerry Paris?
He played Jerry Helper in the Dick Van Dyke Show, The Next Door Neighbor, Millie and Jerry.
Okay.
And he went on to direct probably 70% of Happy Days episodes.
Ah.
I mean, I think Gary Marshall would be a little too
racy.
He'd be
yeah. Oh
Gary
yeah.
Marshall.
Well, he did that movie about the prostitute with the heart of gold.
Yep.
Julia Roberts.
Yep.
The gigolo guy. the hell
Yeah,
was his name?
I know the movie. Yeah.
I wish you would tell me the name of it so I could have closure. But I can look it up later. You know that we're at an hour.
Yeah. So what are you? So what's your show about next week?
Well, this very week that we're recording this, I'm 5 episodes in the can because people really want to talk about their dorkdoms because they're staying at home. And so this week was 3D printers. A guy had a 3D printer that he bought. He didn't really want it, and now he loves it. And so we talked about 3D printing. The one that just came out today was actually animation and a director-writer guy named Kevin Smith, his favorite director-writer guy.
Love Kevin Smith.
Do you love Kevin Smith?
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything about Kevin Smith. It turns out I had only seen Dogma.
No, Clerks.
Clerks.
Although
yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Clerks too.
Clerks 2, that he told me he made a sequel a dozen years later or something.
I'm not a big fan of Clerks too. But,
That'll happen.
And yeah, I mean, I would. By the way, Hallmark movies are not my hidden shame.
They're not your dorkdom, no. But I liked. This was an excellent episode because we got to bond on it. And Rangers, you know the rules out there. Take care of each other.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat, my hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?